Everyone, my name's Josh. Let me just find it, sorry. So this is how I came to know Jesus. If I have to really pick a point in my life when things were looking like there wasn't much hope, it's when my mother passed away. I turned 21 years old at the time, and shortly after, my mum was taken into hospital because of a leak on an aneurysm. Sadly, after a few operations in an attempt to save her, she passed away. Not long after this, I lost my job of 6 years and I found out I was going to be a father. So everything really hit me at once and I didn't know how to process anything. I was difficult to be around. I felt socially awkward, isolated, and felt like I had no purpose. So I would go on to spend the next 8 years or so searching for this purpose, and sadly I couldn't find it. I would drift from job to job, idea to idea, all in a quest for meaning and belonging. The only thing that ever really gave me an outlet for my grief and anger was training. So I would wake up early in the morning, I'd do some cardio, I'd work for 14 hours, and then I'd go and lift weights. I was around, but I wasn't very present as a father because my priorities weren't straight. I became addicted to the results of the mirror. This came to an end when the lockdowns were happening with the COVID and all the gyms closed. I was suffering with this as I think over time I'd developed some sort of body dysmorphia. I was afraid to lose weight because I felt that this would make me become a lesser man. So around 2 years ago, we were at a point where we hadn't got one but two beautiful daughters. And this only added more pressure on me because I was now 30-year-old and still didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. So how could I even begin to help them? One day I was sat in my truck and a random thought came to my mind. I'm going to try to learn martial arts. Strange, yeah. So I opened my internet browser and I began the search. The first thing that came up was Gracie Barra Neepsend. And after doing a bit of digging and watching a captivating video on the website, I decided to book him for a trial. So when I got there, I was greeted by a man named Gareth Neal. He's the owner and the professor at the academy and is now my good friend and a mentor. There was something about this guy that I couldn't put my finger on, but I would later come to understand that this was the Holy Spirit. At surface level, he looked disciplined, well put together, and gave the impression of a strong leader. And I knew that given how I'd been feeling for all these years, this was the type of person I needed to be around. So now I was training consistently, and jiu-jitsu really changed my way of thinking. And I was asked by Gareth's wife, Nush, if I would like to help out with the kids' classes. And this was a great opportunity to help out and give something back. I also started to go with Gazzy to different gyms to train. And the car journeys would be the start of me getting to know who Jesus is. I would start asking questions about God, and he would give me answers. He was patient. He gave me practical examples and stories to help me understand. So I started sharing too. I said that I was struggling with some areas of my life, and this is when I learned about forgiveness and letting go. It wasn't much longer after this that I began reading the Gospel of Matthew, and I learned that in order to save your life, you had to let it go. So I decided I should let go. I confessed my sins and gave my life to Christ, and I said I would trust and follow him. So, living my life now with God in it, things began to change quicker than I would have ever expected. My use of words changed almost overnight. Things I used to enjoy, I just didn't anymore. I sadly lost friends, but what I gained was way more than what I lost. The people that came into my life, I can't explain how grateful I am to God. When I brought the good news home, it scared Nikita because she'd known me for so long, and to see me changing made her feel like she was losing me. And to be honest, there was a moment or two when I felt like I was losing her. I knew that whatever happened, it would be in God's plan, and I trusted that he would make it right. So eventually she gave her life to Christ too. And after 5 years of being engaged, I began to understand the structure of marriage and what it really meant, how important it was. So we got married in April this year. We had a context for love now, and Jesus was the example that we needed. I have never felt more fulfilled and further away from the anxieties and feelings of worthlessness as I do today. God really met me where I was at. He has taken me from feeling this lack of purpose to putting me in a position now where I'm also leading. I'm teaching kids in jiu-jitsu, including my own children. This has given me a clear indication that God can use anyone and any circumstance for his good purpose, even if it's something you'd least expect. So I now know that I do belong. I belong to Jesus Christ, and I have been carried this entire time. Thank you.